Okay. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
This is like two losing games.
alright, that's fine. It's actually pretty good. This one's private, so,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, you can put it
Um,
unlisted and I'll wait for it. Um, I have my thing recording, and I'll look at your OPGG, op.gg first, so
okay.
I'll wait for that to load up. And here's the hardest thing about being a support player. Being a
Yeah.
support player in silver. It's actually pretty difficult. I actually can't, like, without a duo, like I can still win lane, but it doesn't translate to everything because I'm not the best, and I can't land all my skill shots and stuff like that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um, so there are limitations to your abilities, but there's also things you can always improve on. Like there are good solo queue supports. I mean, it's not going to say it's hard, but it's not impossible. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um. Wait,
Okay.
wait. Hold on. Normal, rank solo. Okay, let's see. There's like a lot of normals, that's why. So it's kind of
Yeah.
skewering the thing. Um, the block is fine. This is a good champion to play in support and in mid lane if you're playing it, but just don't build Rod of Ages
Yeah.
on her. She doesn't need it. She's
Ah,
super utility heavy, so
and the
building HP
ranks.
forces the scale It forces her scaling to decline in the early game, which kind of is pointless because Lulu isn't about damage or sustainability. It's just about the utility that she provides. And what better way to give her utility than to just give her more AP? All right, it's up.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
Janna. All right, let's get started. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Like guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty black at first.
That's fine. I'm just looking through your op.gg. Focus your eyes on Morgana. You seem to have a good win ratio on Morgana. She's broke in low elo. Brahm's also
Yeah.
broke right now too. Like I mean like broke as in like you should actually pick these champions up because they're strong and
Yeah.
easier to play. Thresh
Okay.
put him off because even in higher elos I'm struggling with Thresh and
Okay.
even like the good supports like amateurs if you follow EULCS or if you follow some of the oceanic scenes or Korea, Thresh
Yeah.
isn't really picked. It's more towards it's more towards other supports. So you
Okay.
can put off the higher skill ones. The only
Yeah.
high skill one is Thresh. A little bit of Lulu. Like Lulu's simple, but it's considered higher skill because
Yeah.
there's a lot more to micromanage because you have to figure out when you should use your offense versus defense capabilities on your spells. So you can put off Lulu for a little bit, like maybe till
Yeah.
you're gold, but
Okay.
Morgana is easy.
Yeah.
Thresh is the harder one. So I would say in your top three, in your top seven, you can just narrow it down to three of the seven. Blitzcrank not so much because he has his own tier of support and he's like only good against like certain picks, i.e. Sona or um, Janna.
Jinx. Janna.
Jinx
Okay.
is fine, but
Yeah.
but there's supports that go towards Jinx, i.e.
Yeah.
Braum, for instance, because he can block the missile.
Okay.
So leashing for jungler, you if they're standing down here, you'd stand up here, just as long as you get
Okay.
vision.
Right.
Because if they're all crowded in here, you don't have any vision of here, and what they can do is if they come through, where's my paint?
The other side.
Yeah, if they come through
Yeah.
like right here, you completely like miss it. If they come through,
Yeah.
okay, your mini map's on the other side. If they come through here, it's completely blind on your side. And if they come through here, you still can't see them. So they hug the
Yeah.
wall and just go straight in. You're kind of screwed because you're not standing here to get the maximum vision possible. By standing in here though, you're safe from behind the wall ganks because it's harder for them to face check this because you're kind of aware of it. But
Okay.
they'll most likely face check it first, so you're kind of putting yourself in a danger zone at the same time. But at least you get vision.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could just stand at like the edge of the bush, like right. Oops, not there. You can stand like right inside the bush, like all the way up at the corner of it, and then you'll still be safe because you gotta walk down, and they won't be able to commit to you.
Yeah.
Alright,
And the other one I completely forgot because I should have got Spellthief
yeah,
Edge,
I
but
just realized I see this
yeah,
orb. I see these orbs. Yeah, no, you can't do that on Janna.
Yeah.
It's like really hard to proc, and so you waste it completely in gold. And
Yeah.
Spellthief's Edge or Ancient Coin.
Yeah.
Ancient Coin is the more ideal buy. I mean, not Ancient Coin. Spellthief's Edge is the higher purchased item.
Yeah.
But Ancient Coin can also be picked depending on the matchup. The difference between Ancient Coin and Spellthief's Edge is that one gives sustain.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I would have purchased Spellthief's Edge here, only because
Yeah.
you're able to trade. She's retarded. Trade.
Yeah.
She burned a potion. You made her lose 35 gold. Keep trading. If your 80 carry isn't in danger of getting hit and you guys are still trading, shield yourself because you're going to get hit. If you think your 80 carry is going to get hit, shield him.
Yeah.
Or her. You made her burn 35 gold. Like, when she pops that potion, you already won the trade. And you still haven't popped a single pot. You've won the trade. If you have Targon, since it's too late to commit to change, you have to start last hitting.
Yeah. I forgot that I have Targon spray, so I didn't.
That tornado. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the tornado. You want to use it when they're engaging on, like, you want to use it as a form of. It's not a weapon for chasing because it's not only is it difficult to land, but you also end up wasting mana while doing it.
Oh yeah.
What happens is the best thing you do is when they're chasing this way. This is why. Okay, so let me put a hypothetical situation here. So when Kale was like level 1, or let's say now she's level 2, she's over here,
Yeah.
right? Like she's up here and you're here and you're here, and you guys are
Yeah.
trading again. Like this is another round of trades.
Yeah.
You shield her because she hasn't used her pot. She needs to use her pot like right now before anything happens. Or you can
Yeah.
proc her Targons and, give her 80 HP worth of healing, which is half a potion, which is still pretty good. But you shield her, you start trading, then she starts running away. Then you tornado her. It's
Okay.
better for her when she's running away, only when she's close to you. Because it's the distance for level 1 versus the fully charged is huge. So you kind of get used to the distance, but you kind of realize that this distance is short. So if it's short, when should I use it? When they're chasing you. Because if they're chasing you, they're gonna end up running into a short-ranged
Tornado.
ability. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's also a good disengage tool. Like you most of the time hold on to the skill.
Okay.
And you also don't need to level up W at 3 because of that.
Yeah.
Because you're just burning mana at that point. Like this is okay, but that's because he was chasing you. But your ping, I can't see your ping because either my thing is blocking it or it's not shown overall. But if you're gonna cast a tornado, most of the time it should be instant cast. Most of the time.
Okay.
If it's during team fights and you're trying to right there, I would have insta cast it if you were thinking about shooting it out. Because instant casting is like the fastest form of knockup. The longer you wait, the longer the duration of the knockup, of course. But
Yeah.
it's better to instant cast for disable. Yeah, like that. You don't need to exhaust. He was dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he was AFK. You could have just like it was guaranteed he was AFK. Abuse it, but like you don't need to exhaust because it's better to exhaust the 80 carry, not Kale, because Kale if Kale is going support, she's gonna take too long to build her items, and therefore she has no damage.
Do you
So-
exhaust like at the first of the trade or fight or like
wait till
when-
it's super dependent. Like if they're diving you
Yeah.
and they haven't burned their escape yet, and then they dive you with like a guy Valks in,
Yeah.
you exhaust the moment you see the particle of an auto attack come out.
Okay.
Not before, because then they could wait it out. And it's hard to time it, but if you do want to trade, like if you do want to trade, you want to make sure that they burn their escape, because then if you exhaust them, then they escape. Well, they end up they end up closing the entire gap, and then they're slowed. But that's too
Yeah.
late because they ended up pulling the entire gap already. It's kind of like with Vayne. You don't exhaust her when you know she has tumble up, because then she just tumbles backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Though she's slow, the tumble speed isn't slowed. She still has a full speed tumble duration. The animation for tumble isn't slowed. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 4, you have every ability. Hit her. No, never mind.
What do you do? Like like the other lanes are feeding, right? What do you do when as a support?
You can
Do you
roam to
just
mid. You can roam to mid, or you
roam?
can win. You have to assure that you win your lane, and then protect your
Okay.
AD carry because they're gonna most likely dive your AD carry since you've assured that you won your lane.
Okay.
And if you see an opportunity, if their support's not there, and like you know that you both backed at the same time, you don't have to just show up bot lane immediately. You can actually just show up mid and
Mid.
get a gank
Yeah.
off, or get some wards. You don't
Yeah.
have to get a gank off. If vision itself is also fine. Every potion you use is 35 gold burned. So every potion they use is also 35 gold burned. Okay, this trade is impossible when you're out of mana. So you can't really trade. And this is the issue because you don't have spell thieves. As soon as you buy, since you made a mistake, you have to buy. You have to
Yeah.
you have to purchase it as soon as you can.
And I forgot to buy it like
You have enough for sightstone, a pink,
yeah.
or sightstone, 3 sightstone, 3 wards.
If you have Sightstone, do you still buy Vision Words?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
No.
Vision wards, yes. Stealth wards, no.
Ah. Okay.
Vision wards are pinks. That's what they're
Yeah.
called technically. I have to.
Yeah.
I'm like checking. Yeah, you buy vision wards to clear out other wards.
Okay. Is it better to put it in the tree brush or what?
When you're pushing, it's better to
Yeah.
put it in both. I mean, if
Okay.
you have 3 wards, you put it in both. But if you have trinket, you'd put it in river because they're gonna gank. It's easier for them to gank through river.
Okay.
Exhaust would have been perfect, like right there.
Ah.
Like that. That is an ideal situation because he just dived forward. You can exhaust her too if she dares come. If you see her charging a Q, you'd exhaust her. She wouldn't take as much
Okay.
damage. Like you want to do it reactively, not like by instinct. Because
Yeah.
if you do it by instinct, it's like a panic. Like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And when you panic, you might misclick, and sometimes you might click
Right.
on the support, and that's like the worst part. Yeah, the item set choice is fine. I can't see the team. I know that you have an Echo. I know they have a Vi, Corky, and Kale. Okay, Locket would be fine. So she's very situational, and at sometimes you don't even have a right buy. Judging
Yeah.
by your team comp, Locket would be ideal because you have a Yi. Zeke's Harbinger would be ideal because you have a Yi
Yeah.
and a Caitlyn and an Irelia and a Diana. Like all these guys could benefit from it, and it's interchangeable. Every minute you can swap, and since they have an Echo and a Vi,
Yeah.
it's ideal that you get Mikhail's too. Like it's optional, but I prefer it because you can just turn off disables. They also have a Darius, so Darius isn't really a big deal. You don't need Frozen Heart. Only
Ah.
because you don't need Frozen Heart because they don't run attack speed based champions. Corki isn't an auto attack reliant champion. Echo isn't. Darius isn't. I mean, they attack, but they're really slow. So slowing something that's already slow is worthless. Someone like Vayne and a jungler like Yi, yeah, Frozen Heart's definitely worth it there. You can kind of see why. Like
Okay.
you can just feel it just by me naming the champions. You see that Frozen Heart's like an
Yeah.
ideal buy. But you understand the paper behind that, right? Like the reasoning. Okay.
Yeah.
Time that.
Yeah.
Okay, so right there, that was a heal down, right? So okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have timestamps on, so
Ah.
that's one
Yeah.
issue. Other people might not, but you kind of give them a hint. Heal Corky, great, but I don't know when you said that because I don't have timestamps on. But I looked at the corner of my eye. I looked in the corner of
Of
the
the
screen
game.
with my eyes
Yeah.
as soon as I saw that it's 4 minute cooldown, I believe. So just
Ah.
cut it at a combat summoner as a 4 minutes, so it's 13:26.
Okay.
Which gives a jungler an ideal sense of when he should gank, or when you should punish. Or if your
Okay.
mid laner comes down through Tribush, an ideal sense of what they can do.
But like usually Devourers junglers, they don't really gank that as much.
It's still a thing to put into practice.
Yeah.
In case your top laner TP is down too. Like there's some things that don't happen. Like someone argued that they should never protect from invades because invades never happen in their elo. But I told them
Yeah.
that if it happens, what do you do then? Oh, I do nothing. I get killed. Well, you could have done something called prepare for it. Shit.
Yeah.
And I noticed one thing earlier. Let me go back to it. Here you go. There it is. This is like the only opportunity I'll have. Because I noticed you didn't do it now, but you did it earlier. Just the placement of this ward. Place it in the corner of the
Yeah.
bush. I put the emphasis on this a lot, but when the mouse enters the bush, when it's outside of the bush is blue, when it's inside of the bush is green, unless it's
Yeah.
different for yours. But because it's different for everybody's, because if they're running colorblind mode. But
Yeah.
the vision is basically no matter where you place it in the bush, the entire bush
Yeah.
is revealed. But what you're wanting is the river. If you place it down here, the river would be like right down here. It's skewered. If you place it in the edge, you get more vision.
I was just afraid, like, if my ADC got killed by other people.
Yeah. So I don't see you pinging that often. Like you actually don't. I don't see you doing a lot of ping control on your Janna. Like smart pings, not just like ping ping like alt click. But I mean like alt you hold it and then you drag up for danger and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You could just like for me when I go in ward try bush, I say danger danger and then I ping to the try and then I ping to the river and then I ping I'm coming back to her. So that's
Uh,
5 pings out of my 6 pings in a row limit because that's what I need to convey the message that I'm going to ward try without even typing a word. I go in ward 2 areas and I told her to be careful
okay.
indirectly. Last night though I had like a game where like map awareness was a problem. Like we still won in the end, but basically I pinged 6 times that Gragas was coming and I pinged exactly
Oh,
where and
yeah.
what path he was coming from. And my dude wasn't aware, but we still come out on top of it because I'm Janna and I can disengage from a team fight. It's pretty straightforward. You use your tornado as a form of healing instead of a form of engage or or uh or
Just,
playmaking.
but usually you can use like your Q for engage too, right?
If you're you can, but it's not optimal because like the knock-up duration is so short. You don't expect follow-up after. Like if you had a Yasuo,
Okay.
you can do it for sure. But even with
Yeah.
Yasuo, the way Yasuo's like a good Yasuo would play it out is that you do a fully charged 3 second or whatever the duration is tornado, and then they're
Yeah.
knocked up in the air for so long. Yasuo chains his own Q afterwards to keep them in the air for that extra second. Then he ults in. He needs the full duration of your knockup. Like a short half-second knockup doesn't do anything for him.
Okay.
Okay, so what the problem here is that you don't seem to sell your targets right away, and you haven't used it once, so
Yeah.
therefore your gold income is limited. So if you had like an ancient coin, your gold income would have been much higher. Like just by I'd say like 50% of what you already had coming, which is like you had like no gold technically. You don't get passive gold either, so you're just playing based off of assists alone. This is pretty bad. You would have had at least like if it's 2 gold per second after 1 minute 30, you have 10 minutes of 2 gold per 10. So crunching some numbers, I'd say that's like ID seed. You know. Jesus, what the fuck? I can't believe I disconnected in the middle of it. And this is still recording, this is beyond. Let me just do some math real quick while this is going on. So there's 1 minute 30. There's 1 minute 30, 12 minutes of gameplay. Or no, it's 6 minutes when I got this. Wait, no, it was like 11. Yeah, 11:30. 11 minutes. So minus that would be 9 minutes, 30 seconds, 60 seconds in a minute. So every increment of 6. So times that by 9.5. So there, times that by 9 because of 9 minutes. So therefore, why is my internet so pathetic? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, right. I'm so dumb. Hello? Is this real? Hello?
Hello?
For Christ's sake. I'm back, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, back to the session. So the last thing I said was that why Spellthief. I'm just trying to calculate how much passive gold you would have gotten, assuming that you didn't trade. And if you just sat on the item alone as a term of gold, and even if you had ancient coin, you would just check. Let me share screens. That's what I was trying to do. So 9 minutes and 30 seconds would have passed, and you would have accumulated 114 more gold, which puts you 114 more gold closer to your next item, which isn't really saying much, but it's 114 gold, so that means that you would have purchased your sightstone probably about like I don't know a few like sooner. You would have had it sooner.
Yeah.
So on your first back, you had like 1,000.
Yeah.
But you would have had like 1,100 on your first back, so I would have bought Sightstone at boot. Janna is super dependent on move speed, especially with W. Like right here, for example, she would be able to move a little bit quicker if you stand on top. Okay, you're tunneled. I see how you're tunneled. Like, you were paying attention down here. I don't think you were aware that there was another person coming. Like, you knew he was coming because it's on your screen. But I feel like
Oh
your
yeah,
eyes are focused down here. Like, your eyes are focused down here, and you're not looking at the
yeah.
map. Like, I knew
I
something
was
was up
looking at the
because
minimap.
they were still standing here. Like, there would be no reason that Kale stands here without some other factor coming in. You also have an echo coming down, but that's harder
Yeah.
to spot than anything else.
I usually look at the minimap, so
Oh, did you know he was coming? Because I can't tell.
yeah.
Okay. If you knew he was coming, you would prepare a tornado right here to disengage your Q. Because you don't want you don't want anyone to get hit by that. Oh, that was a awkward tornado. Or monsoon. Oh, you gotta smart cast it.
Yeah.
You kind of just put your mouse out there and just launch it. You gotta get used to that. Because the little time you're trying to spend preparing for the ability itself is in itself gonna take too long. Like, that little bit of delay can cause someone like Yi to die or something like that. In this case, it did. And then here comes Shielder again. Never mind. Good. You don't need to tornado him anymore. Yes, good. Like that. Keep your eyes on Vi. She's the only one you need to tornado. Like, nobody could get to your backline if you're playing Janna right. Because if she, like, in theory, let's say they dive your backline with Vi, you just press R and she's done. She's donezo. Then your Caitlyn, as long as she doesn't chain E immediately after Vi ults, which is like the worst thing that she can do, you're set. Shield the Diana so you can increase your DPS. Good job. Tornado the wave. You don't have mana for it. You need Moby boots. Almost always you take Mobies. Second choice, Ionian.
Yeah. Do you usually build boots first on supports or just like build time?
Sightstone boots, then item.
Okay.
Cause the way I play is I sometimes group a lot more than sometimes I group more. Because after you take your bot tower, you just need to go to mid.
Okay.
Rotate. At this particular instance, you should have backed. Like, straight up backed. Not even place the pink, because your teams already have that area covered. And what would happen is you would want to prep for dragon. And that's a safe pink ward, but it's not the pink ward that we need. Or some Batman quote. It's not the one we need or deserve. That one's the safest one, but not a lot of people on their side will have the opportunity to ward in that zone. Because you're not really seeing any wards from that angle. Like, when a pink ward is in your bush, in that bush, it only checks for wards inside that bush and wards outside of that bush and no other bush in it. So therefore, if you placed it in the river, because most people will place wards in the river bush, like that idle river bush, like right there, like up here, like as you're like right here, people will place wards in there. Sweep that area if you haven't placed a pink ward in it.
Yeah.
And if you, oh god, don't tornado here. Okay. Here's why. Yeah. So you missed it, right? And then they capitalize. They just punch you. It's on Vi. Oh. Flash down 1913. No. 1943, I think. No, 1843. Yeah. If she's 2109. So this is where you use OpGG to your advantage. Check their masteries. If they have 10% summoner cooldown reduction, your timings is different. It actually matters though, because 4 minutes and 30 seconds can determine life or death.
Okay.
Just like that split second down at bot lane could have saved Master Yi in theory, even though you would have just stopped Vi from coming up for like half a second. If he got like, I don't know, a Q off or a meditate proc off, he could have nullified damage. It's just all in theory, but half a second matters just like 30 seconds matter.
And then Caitlyn just
slash mute all immediately when the game starts. Don't even talk to your teammates. I don't talk to my teammates.
Okay.
Like like I get frustrated. No, like my AD carry can't dodge skill shots. I have to endure it because it gets really frustrating. No, like experience. Like even though we're in two different elos, things happen in your elo that happen in my elo too. It's just that people think that they're a lot like more. They just have a bigger sense of ego, so they don't accept their faults, and it's kind of annoying. Which you probably have too. Like, you know, he's like, oh, you guys feed, but blah 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 and stuff like that. All the rage that you guys get there, it's like I'm seeing the same things in my own game too. So it's not that far apart. The only difference is that, people will dodge more sometimes.
Yeah.
It's good that you're rewarding that. Okay, you're gonna sweep here, you're gonna sweep... Oh, okay.
No.
That entire river is potentially warded because they did some... Like, somehow it's warded because they just did dragon, and they kind of backed off immediately. So they have an idea that there is a ward there, simply because they just kind of did it. Like, hey, these guys went back. Let's do the dragon. Eyes on. Oh, yeah, pickpocket too. Oh, you stepped in that. So you have pickpocket, which I didn't notice. Well, it's hard to notice pickpocket because you don't, because it's 3 gold. But yeah, Spellthief's edge per auto, it's 8 gold for a bit of time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And like tried to save Diana just now, but then she just jumped right back in. So it's pretty.
I'm gonna see how you played it out.
Okay.
Because we were talking about general sense, whereas we haven't got in-depth in laning phase gameplay yet. So I'll have to re-go over this VOD for laning phase in-depth gameplay. Okay, your ult's fine, but here's the thing: if you couldn't save Janna because when you stepped into the echo stun, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
So that's right there. That's just a misclick. If you click backwards though, there's still a chance you can't save her simply because you have mana problems and cooldowns, and she's standing still herself because she'll be stunned. So it's kind of hard. Like, what are you supposed to do against that? So it's fine. You can exhaust one, which would be Vi. You can tornado the other, which it could be Kale, but you can't stop Echo because he has like a blink or a dash.
Yeah.
Technically.
Is it better to get like ignite or exhaust?
On Janna?
No, like on just supports.
It depends on the support though, because Janna, you don't see kill potential. Like, you actually don't see kill potential, and of course it depends on the team too. In Team 5, I ask because if my AD carry declares that he wants something, then I give it to him because he wants it. And so, like, he usually wants Ignite, but he plays kill-based lanes, i.e. Thresh, Not, and Braum. But if he sees that people are a threat, such as if they have a lot of AD-based champions that can be threatening, let's look at their team comp, for instance. Kale, when she has a lot of attack speed, eventually she'll have it. She's a threat, so that's exhaust. Echo, not really, but it's nice to exhaust him. Vi, definitely. Corki, if you get in range, definitely good. Darius, that's fine. So therefore, 4 people that do a lot of damage, you can exhaust them. If it's AP, for instance, like 2 AP, and they don't really do melee-based attacks and damage, you don't need to play it. You don't need to play exhaust. You can play ignite. But with Janna, I almost always like the percentage I take exhaust is a lot higher than the percentage I take ignite. Like in 100 games, I've probably taken like 1 ignite. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But in rank 5s, I would probably take, like, out of 100 rank 5 games, I'd probably take exhaust every single time, with no questions asked. Only because the late game exhaust is much better if you're expecting the game to drag out late. Of course, you have to have a lot more knowledge of the support role in general if you're going to play ignite based, because you have to play a super aggressive Janna, which is the opposite of her natural playstyle of passivity. So exhaust right there would have been perfect onto the Vi, because she seems to deal, like, straight up pure damage. And that's like the XJ9 style build. You just build pure damage, and you like crush lanes. Well, you crush lanes if it's the right time, of course. And she only seemed to gank your lane like for a majority of the time. Like she ganked your lane like 2 or 3 times, but that's where the gold was on their side. Yeah, she has Triforce, which she shouldn't build first. She should instead just gone Blade of the Ruin King. That actually hurts more for our team since we have no armor.
Yeah.
All right. Terms of items, you're rushing too much into your big support item, whereas you don't have, like, the thing is your mobility does matter because tier 2 boots and by itself is still good. If you're gonna build any defensive boosts, Ninja Tabby is fine in this team comp. Otherwise, Merc Treads, it's like the general one.
Okay.
But you can't. You need the Moby boots because she needs to travel. Janna's a traveler.
Okay.
She moves a lot, and the faster you are, the further you are from your teammates, especially if your Mobies are active.
Yeah.
When you're running away, you're actually helping your team out indirectly, simply because you're increasing their move speed, all of them. If you're in the front line or the back line, because by naturally moving faster, you can get ahead in the front line, and then make them move faster alongside you. And of course, you always build Talisman
Yeah.
right after because Spellthief usually never translates into the full Frostfang anyway. Frostfang isn't necessary for most champions, excluding Morgana, because Morgana is just in general needs it. Kind of depends on the matchup though, but most of the time people get Talisman after they get Spellthieves. Like they just sell the Spellthieves for it. Okay, so let's go back in depth into the laning phase, something that I didn't get to go over. You know about level 2, right?
Yeah.
So when I said trade right here, look at the minions too. Because your minions are dying. She's last hitting. She's trying to hit level 2. More important. She's trying to deny you from hitting level 2. You burn 35 gold. That's fine. If this trade isn't happening, keep hitting her. You could have just kept hitting her.
Okay.
There's only 3 minions. Second, you rotate. As soon as she gets into this area, when she's that close to her 80 carry, you kind of just like, there's a Venn diagram. There's basically a circle of contact. That's what I call it, or circle of presence. There's a lot of terms for it, but basically every cat champion has a circle, and when the circles overlap each other, you're safe. You're standing parallel to each other. When this happens, the circles are guaranteed to overlap. See, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is basically you stop trading at that point. So until she stands next to Corki, you can't trade with her because all they have to do is just turn their eyes on you. Both of them have to right click you, and you get hit by 2 autos at once, which forces you to burn 35 gold, aka a potion, to sustain your way through that, and that's not worth it. So you could have gotten like 2 autos off, maybe 3, depending on your ping, of course, and then focus back on last hitting here, or increasing her chances of last hitting. So you can try to, target yourself, or just hit these minions as fast as possible. Because the moment these minions right here die, these 4 exact right here die, you will hit level 2. No invades happen, so no extra EXP was gained at the side. So it's all, like right now it's all her last hitting, and you haven't helped once. I've only seen you auto attack like 1 time during that time, and you're still trying to trade. As soon as these 2 minions die, you're gonna hit level 2. As soon as these 3 minion dies, they're gonna hit level 2, which means that you have a higher chance of hitting level 2 before they do. And when you're level 2 and they're still level 1, they can't trade with you because all he has is Phosphorus Bomb. He has no Valk, so therefore you can just tornado him, and then Caitlyn goes all in, or her level 2 all in, which is Q and E, but she has Q basically, so it hurts. And you have a tornado to potentially knock up 2 people, so it's like if you had Spellthieves, that's free gold.
Yeah.
But level 2 Power Spike doesn't mean much to Janna, but it means more to Playmaker supports. It makes a lot of difference to Morgana. Binding at level 2 is huge. So now you're level 2, you instantly skill up Tornado. Good. Well, not instant, but no, it wasn't instant, but you skilled it up pretty quickly. You go up to her, you fight. Yes. See, now she goes all in, but that Tornado missed. She has to back out. She's taking too much excess damage for harass for no reason. Therefore, it's a problem. You also see when you're about to hit level 2, because if you depend on your AD carry, because your AD carry is going to be the one who initiates the level 2 power spike. What I mean by this is when you're standing right here, this minion dying guarantees you will hit level 2. You should be moving up forward. Reason why is because as soon as you hit level 2, you skill up the tornado, then you toss the tornado out right away. Because that minion died, you'll level up. You're 2, you drop the tornado. They don't expect that because it's this level. And maybe if they do expect it, it doesn't matter because you're so far up on them that you can even get free autos off. See, as soon as it dies, it hit level 2, and then she goes in. But you were supposed to be up here the entire time. And what would happen is if you were up here, because they're moving based on how you move too. If you're back here, like the position is parallel this way, then she instead of being down here, because earlier when you were right here, she was like crawling up on this bush, and you can see that she's crawling up on this bush with this vision ward here. So she starts moving up because you're so far back. So if you were forward, she would not be up here because she'd be crazy, because then Caitlyn could just shit on her. So she would be back here. And therefore, as soon as you hit level 2, you keep going forward. And then they can't do anything. So he goes back. He not only loses 20 gold, but if he doesn't stay within range, he loses level 2. So he's still level 1 if you deny this. Like if you're actually within the 1400 range of zone control, he gets denied that minion. And he loses 20 gold and level 2. So he'd have to kill the backline to hit level 2. So all that comes from where you're standing.
Okay.
Oh shit. See, like being back here forces her to play, and like watch her movement. You're back here so she can go forward from this bush. You can see her, but that doesn't matter because you're so far back that she's able to go this much forward, because being so far back here, you can't hit her, so therefore she can stay within that range. But as you're coming closer, she starts backing up because she can't. If she doesn't have it warded here, she can't see you. So she's like, shit, are they gonna go make a play? Is something gonna happen? Let me back up. Because like now you're in auto range, so you start autoing her, and she tries to auto you back, but you have shield, so you win the trade always. So now she starts backing up again. She can't see anything because you entered the bush. Now she sees that you're kind of back all the way over there, so she enters the bush again. She feels a sense of security because you're so far back. Like, you're really far back.
Yeah.
And this is why you missed the tornado, because you were so far back from the start, and when she comes in, you're parallel to her, but being this far apart means that, you know, you won't be able to land the tornado. Though you predict it, it's not going to land. Like, you kind of predict where she's going, but it's not going to land. So that there was a capitalization that could have been taken. They hit level 2, so it's unfortunate. Both of you guys are at the same skill level, or same level in terms of base stats. What you can notice is that she's a heal and she has E, which means she doesn't have Q, which means she has no form of soft CC. So if you trade with her, she has no Q. Well, that's not that much, but she has a heal now, so it makes trades all equaled out. So if you wanna get through Kale, which is the better option, you can force her to burn all her pots, then trade with Corki, or you can force Corki to burn his pot. It's just as important to burn both players' pots, but you have to pick one over the other. Corki can safely farm under tower, so burning his pot is half kind of pointless, especially in this lane. Kale sucks. Just burn her pots instead. Some champions like Vayne needs the potions. She can safely farm under tower, but she's super close range, so burn her pots. Now, but his pot is gone, so that means that you can start harassing him without consequence. And then here's the exhausting I said, because she's not moving, she's AFK or whatever. If you see that until she starts moving, like even if she started moving, I still wouldn't use the exhaust. Because all that it's doing is just dropping her armor by 10 and you had the kill. Caitlyn pings that she's missing, like why'd you exhaust? Probably thinking why'd you exhaust, or thinking, what is she doing?
Is it better to like in a duo? Is it better to focus the ADC or support?
Depends on who's closer. It depends on who your AD carry's targeting. Or whoever you exhaust. If the ADC decides to go ham and go forward, you can focus the ADC together by pinging the ADC 2 or 3 times. This is where ping control comes in. I noticed that there's like lack of pings throughout the entire game, not just from you, but from like every single person.
Yeah.
And that's important. Like when I was stomping on Autolus, I would like I muted everyone, but when I press Z, I see like a fucking, it's all just my username, Nautilus, ping, 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 and I'm like, damn, I must have pinged a lot, but it just, I said I was stomping with Nautilus as support, but why was I stomping? Because I have more control over the lane. I'm controlling my teammates on what to do, because I'm pinging so much. So Diana's ping's missing. When you ping missing, ping it 3 times or 2 times. Or no, you ping it 2 times per player down at bot lane. For mid lane, you ping it 3 times. Top lane, you ping it 3 times. For jungle, you can do this. It's not evident, but you can ping a camp, and that's it. You're just basically saying, I assume that they're here. So, someone's Mia, you ping twice. You always have this bush warded, because it's a psychological aspect. Just like, okay, so remember when I said, when you entered this bush, Kale started backing up, because she doesn't know where you are. So that's why you should have the bush warded. By having it warded, you know where she is at all times. Just by being invisible, you know, it's a threat.
Yeah.
That's why Shaco, Evelyn, and Twitch players get away with some things.
Yeah. It's from like your last video, I think. Like Shaco players are really good, like high elo players.
Yeah, depending on the it's the player itself. Shaco's always a good champion, but it doesn't fit into every team comp.
Yeah.
Shield reactively. Shield upon part. Okay, so excluding Kale, only because Kale didn't, because Kale doesn't have a particle for auto attack. But if it's like a Corki and the particle's about to land, shield then, because they'll never expect it. Or if you can't get that timing right, shield when she's about to auto, because the game doesn't register the auto damage until the auto lands. So if she autos and it's flying towards them, then you shield them, the damage will suddenly increase by 50. It's the same with Sivir. Until the boomerang blade lands, the damage doesn't register. It's a
Yeah.
completely undamaged, like the thing itself is 0 damage until it contacts something. Then it calculates based on your AD,
Yeah.
which is why when you exhaust someone, all your skills become useless because it calculated everything already, you know? And
Yeah.
that's why I said exhaust reactively, not instinctively. Because instinctive ones come in panic, and sometimes you can accidentally exhaust the supports. Yeah, and being out of mana is a problem. Like, this is only because you don't have Spellthieves. Heal. And outplayed. You could have got a double. Had you had mana, that's actually a double.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you W'd that much, but don't W as a form of harass. Like, don't ever W as a form of harass.
Okay.
Only as a form of chasing. Like, it's pointless. Like, you slow them for like 2 autos, great.
Yeah.
Not just you, but like your AD carry. Like that's not that valuable at all. Like, it's such like it's too much. Like it's a complete waste of resources, you know. So there's no point in doing that. And then anything else in terms of depth of lane phase that I noticed aside from warding, pink ward. Well, you already noticed about that. When you have sightstone though, there's a ward in the jungle. You can just place it at the edge of the bush, which is.
Yeah.
So aside from the edge of the bush, and I said pink ward and river, you can also place one like right here.
Yeah.
And if you're really ballsy, one right here. You can throw 1, 2, pink ward here, and a ward here. You basically have, if the jungler dares enters through here and here, you know that they're coming. You can ping once here. You could ping once here for a danger ping. Hey, there's a jungler here.
Yeah.
You just walk through there. Hey, there's a jungler coming out through here for mid lane or coming down bot lane, which you would spot from your pink ward and your scuttle crab. Or, hey, Caitlyn, you should be careful. So you have complete control over the bottom side of the map with your entire sightstone plus your pink ward, provided that nobody touches your pink ward or your sightstone. Then, if you have a good AD carry, he would pink ward here, so that you guaranteed have almost max vision. There's only like 2 other places you can ward, which is next to the red camp and directly over here. This is what we call the solo queue ward. So if you place a pink ward here, nobody ever touches that bush. So you guarantee that you get vision of red buff and a little bit of the area. But not a lot of people walk through here because they don't come through lane ganks as often as they come through tri-bush to gank or river. So it's a risky ward, but it comes out with a high reward. Risky ward, high reward.
Yeah.
Aside from vision control and stuff like that, don't step into echo stun because you just know that it comes out in the last half a second, so always be moving. Don't stand still near echo. Like, you can never if he gets out of vision and tosses parallel convergence, you're screwed because it's parallel convergence. Good job shielding the thing. Flash on D, flash on F, not gonna judge. Doesn't really matter. Okay, shoot. Pew, pew, shield him. Pew. Okay. Alright, I think that's all I can cover for this one. Fucking 48 minutes, it's pretty short, but like 10 minutes of it was me trying to fix my internet. Which will probably be on the YouTube VOD. It's gonna be like that, but oh yeah. Doing the math, it was 114 gold, like I said. So from a 1 minute 30 when minions spawn, you start generating 2 gold per 10 seconds. 9 minutes and 30 seconds pass by, which is basically 57, times that by 2 gold per 10, so that's 114 bonus gold, which would basically put your gold at 325, which means that if you backed right now at this particular instance, you would buy a Boots of Speed, and that's it. But you would buy it sooner. Boots of Speed is important. Wow, you actually last hit the thing. Boots of Speed into Boots of Moby. Like, Moby just grants you a lot of pressure. In general, you get to lane quicker. So if you back while your AD carry doesn't want to back, you can get to lane faster.
Okay.
There is a time where some people will back when their AD carry doesn't want to back because you need to restock on wards or potions or something like that. And then having Mobies itself is in there is just a good thing. You know, just getting there sooner is nice.
What do you do when no one wants to ward except you?
What do you mean? Oh, well, you just ping. Ask them. Like, the thing is,
Ping.
you just ask for assistance. You need to ping for assistance. Instinctively, as you go up through the elos, like they'll start purchasing more wards. Like Caitlyn has a ping, she just didn't drop it.
Yeah.
Or maybe she did, but she does it later. Like, people, if they buy wards or not, you have to just play strategic wards. and you constantly restock them. And if anyone ever tells you to buy, if anyone that plays support ever says buy level 9 trinket, like mute them immediately because they're idiots. You never buy level 9 trinket, like you know that level 9 yellow trinket
Yeah.
shit. Don't ever listen to anybody who ever says that. Like I can't argue against that because they actually think that it's a better purchase, but if you're the only one warding and you're support and you buy that trinket, you've lost so much pressure in the game itself. Like you've lost you alone as a support almost made it a 4v5 in terms of gold statistics and vision control. Vision wins you games, but by buying that level 9 trinket, you kind of like skewer the game towards their side. Because the other support won't be as dumb as you, right? So that means that you kind of get that pressure. There's arguments against it, but it's like a long story. Anyway, here comes the gank. Buy's coming. So that's why somebody pings be careful. Vi. Oh. See how Corky's so far away?
Yeah.
She's the only one going on you. So far away. Yeah, that tornado. Yeah, it's taking a while. There's the tornado on it. Auto, and then Echo comes. At this point, you should W the Echo. Yeah. See, like now, that's a really correct way to use the W. I didn't see. I remember you doing it earlier. I just had to like recheck. Okay. I think that's all I could cover for this one. Dragon control is also important too, because as soon as you buy Sidestone, instead of just going straight into the lane, focus on warding first, then going back to the lane the safest way possible. Simply because as soon as you get back to the lane, you might get ganked immediately. So you should probably get some vision control first. Most of the time, that's what I do. I drop 2 of my wards in important places, save my 3rd ward for some place where a gank might come, and then we're set. Also place my pink too if I had enough money to purchase it. Shameless plug before I go. Before I go to the next one, because these have to be separate VODs. Facebook.com/LOLveggie, Twitter @LOLveggie. Follow, like, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get on to the next VOD.